I want to believe that at several points in our lives, we must have felt entitled to somebody's thing, somebody's time, somebody's love, somebody's call, somebody's message, and many, many, many other things. The feeling of entitlement is something that creeps in unexpectedly in our heart, and then we just begin to expect so much from the other person. On today's episode, we're going to be talking on how to overcome that entitlement mentality. Hi, if you are new here, welcome to Queen with a Difference podcast, and this is Favor Opeyemi. On the show, today we're going to be talking on how we can overcome the entitlement mentality in our relationships. You would agree with me that we share bonds with people that we love, people that we care for, and people that are around us. And sometimes we just want to feel entitled to some things from them. Let's take the story of Jude, a guy who got tired of a relationship from a girl because the girl was always expecting him to call her almost every time, almost every day, every minute, and she was just so entitled to a lot from him. She had a lot of expectations like, oh, you have to call me, you have to spend all of your time with me, you have to do this and do that. And because he wasn't showing up like she expected or like she wanted, she began to complain, oh, Jude, why didn't you do this? Why did you not call me? Why did you not check up on me? Why did you not do this? And then he got so tired, he got so bothered and frustrated and irritated by these acts and actions. And Jude just decided that he was going to end it because in the first place there was really nothing between them. I mean, he said, and I quote, I did not ask her out in the first place, so why is she feeling so entitled to me at this point? I know many of you listening to me now can relate to situations like this. Being entitled means having an unrealistic, unearned expectation that one deserves some special treatment or privileges. And I tell you, the entitlement mentality is one that has, brought down so many relationships today, especially the friendship relationship. You would see them asking for constant attention and affection. Oh, Favor, why didn't you do this today? Oh, Favor, why didn't you buy this for me? Oh, Favor, why didn't you call me yesterday? Oh, why didn't you do this and do that? And they just want you to do and do and do. They feel so deserving that they deserve your undivided attention and your affection, without even considering their boundaries at all. They just feel like, oh, they should be in your number one top list. Yeah, sometimes they don't even know how to appreciate. The feeling of mentality also comes with lack of appreciation. It comes with demanding compliance. You're always insisting that I agree or meet your demand without compromise or negotiation. You always just want me to do whatever you ask me to do. Let's take for instance the story of myself and a friend that just walked into my life, and we were just friends, and all of a sudden he was expecting that I would let go of my other friends and make him my topmost priority. And I'm like, from where to where? At least you would even give reference to those that have been in my life before. I do not say that there are relationships that do not just happen like that okay, somehow you have to prioritize some persons for some reasons, but then walking into somebody's life and you want to just be the Lord and Lord of all, it doesn't make any sense to me at all. And this is the picture of entitlement mentality. Many of us unconsciously do this, and it is common amidst the female gender. Entitlement, it's only just about you. You're always self-centered, thinking about only yourself. You're putting less effort into a relationship, but you want the other person to invest the whole of them in you. Things does not work like that. But if you feel like you've been entitled before, or you're struggling with this entitlement mentality, today I'm going to be sharing with you tips on how you can overcome this entitlement mentality. It could be entitlement, you could be feeling entitled to your friend, to your parent, to your brother, to your siblings, to your, man, and so many persons. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how you can overcome the entitlement mentality. So number one is always do a self-reflection. Regularly reflect on your action and your expectations. Somebody like me, I'm always careful whenever I'm trying to message somebody or whenever I'm getting angry with somebody that is my friend or the opposite sex. I always want to question, favor, be careful, this person has not asked you out. One, and if it's the female gender, I want to ask myself, I hope I'm not asking too much. So self-reflection will help you in overcoming the entitlement mentality. Then cultivate the habit of empathy. Put yourself in other shoes. I tell you, it works a lot when you put yourself in other shoes and you can also see and understand their needs from their own perspective. Yet another thing is practice gratitude. Focus on appreciating other persons, rather than expecting certain behaviors or actions. Many of us were so good with complaining. Oh, you're not doing this, oh, you're not doing that. But what about the little that the person has been doing? Why not sit down and then recount on those things that they have been good at and watch them do better, even in areas that seem like they're not even doing at anything at all. And another thing you could do to overcome the entitlement mentality is to communicate openly. Have honest conversations with your friends, with your partners, with your family. Oh, okay, this is what the misunderstanding is. I expected that you would check up on me yesterday, but you didn't. I hope all is well. Something like that would go a long way to somebody that was probably busy or somebody that forgot to actually check up on you. Yeah. So before you pull the trigger, always remember to communicate openly and also set boundaries. I want you to understand and respect other person's boundaries. Also set boundaries. Setting boundaries will help you to understand and respect other people boundaries. When you know that, okay, this is the limit I should go with this person, it will help you in what and what not that you should demand in such relationship. So another thing you should do is to learn to take responsibility, acknowledge your own faults and work on yourself. Learn to improve on yourself, and then accept that you're not entitled to your friends, your partner's constant attention or compliance. Yes, this should be a mentality that should stay and stick with us. Learn to take responsibility. Accept it. Always accept it that you're not entitled to somebody's attention. And lastly, on how to overcome the entitlement mentality is to learn to compromise. Learn to compromise. Be willing to give as much as you take. Relationship requires balance and mutual effort. How much have you been giving in that relationship? How much have you been giving in that your friendship relationship that you think is not working out? Oh, if you feel like, this person is so good with words and the person has been giving you maybe in affirmations, why not look for another way to show up in your relationship? What effort are you going to make? It could be buying something or showing up, being there emotionally, being there spiritually by praying together or praying for them. All of these little things will go a long way, and it would also help us to improve on our relationships with other persons. I hope this has really blessed you because I have also been blessed. And I don't want you to be blessed alone. I want you to share this podcast with every other person. Thank you if you're a returning listener. Thank you for listening and staying tuned. Until our next podcast, stay strong and don't forget that I am rooting for you. See you next time.